What's going on, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Bay LA Podcast, your home for everything Lakers, Warriors, and news from around the association. I'm Austin Sexton, your Lakers guy, here at home today for a nice Sunday wrap-up. Coming in with my guys from the Bay Area, it's Roman and Casey. How we doing, guys?
What's going on?
What up?
Oh, man, I feel like it's been a weekend, bro. I'm just sitting here having a coffee, trying to enjoy this nice Sunday night. Eagles got the win today. Lakers got the win against Toronto, even though it wasn't great. It looks like the Warriors got some dubs as well. Yeah?
Yeah. Got some dubs, and I mean, at least for last night's game, it wasn't an easy victory, even though it should have been. But
yeah. Well, we feel the same way over here in Los Angeles. So we'll get into it in just a second. But before we dive into it, make sure to subscribe to us right here at the Lakers Bay LA podcast, wherever you get your streaming at. Whether it be Apple Podcasts, whether it be Spotify, give us a 5-star rating, like, subscribe, do all of those things because we're just a bunch of guys who like to talk sports with you, with our favorite sports team. So like and subscribe, give us the 5-star rating. So let's get right into it. Warriors 3-game winning streak. So apparently you're saying that the last game wasn't pretty, but hey, you got 3 in a row. Does this make you guys 4-2 currently?
No, is it 5-1 now?
Yeah, 5-1 now.
Oh, 5-1. Okay. Sorry, I felt so good about the Lakers winning that I completely forgot that there's other teams in the league. So yeah, 5-1. So that's got to put you like top 3 in the West, maybe even top 5 in the league.
I think we're 2 right now, right under the Thunder. I'm pretty sure, just because I think they've played one more game.
Yeah.
I can double check. Oh no, we're tied up with the Suns right now, but they have better home record. Yeah.
Why don't you go and break down those games for me, man? You said it was a tight one against the Rockets, right?
I mean, yeah. If we're gonna start there, we'll start there. Wow, what an experience! The Warriors have stressed me out for many years, but last night they had a nice 31-point lead. Probably somewhere in the third quarter they maintained something around that lead size, but it just slowly kind of went away because they just got sloppy. There was just turnovers, fast break points. The Rockets just kind of came out of nowhere and out hustled them for 2 quarters.
Yeah, second half, like they definitely turned up the intensity on defense, and yeah, like Roman was just saying, the Warriors got sloppy with the ball, turned over the ball a lot, and they just couldn't make free throws. First half, the Rockets were fouling a ton.
Yeah.
And like just the Warriors were just living at the free throw line, which as Warrior fans, like this never happens. The Warriors never really get that kind of whistle. But
I mean, that typically happens with jump shooting teams. I feel like if you're a jump shooting team, you're not getting to the line more than like 10, 12 times per game.
You're not getting that contact.
Yeah.
But the Rockets were letting the Warriors live rent free at the free throw line. Warriors couldn't capitalize off of it. And slowly but surely the Rockets just crept into the game, and they had a great game from Tari Eason. It seemed like he was on a mission.
He does not like the Warriors.
He does not. And I believe after the game, or I don't know if this was before or after, but direct quote was, "I don't like the Warriors."
Yeah, I mean, What is it, like 4 years of the Warriors just beating the Rockets consistently? Just absolutely brutalizing them, knocking them out of playoffs. Like it's been hard for a Rockets fan to see the Warriors in the match.
Can't blame them. And Oakland's own Amen Thompson had a great game. Fourth quarter, I thought he was going to win them the game, honestly. He just couldn't be stopped. Quiet game from Jalen Green. But on the Warriors end of things, I thought Brandon Pajemski had a really good game. I thought that with I don't know if there's probably 20 seconds left on the clock or 19 seconds, that they'd won the game because they'd gone up 119 to 115. They just had to hold on to the ball, and then they turned over the ball, led to easy Rockets basket, and then we had overtime.
Don't you guys hate the nail biters, especially when it's like that? Like it never feels like a great win. It's like you're up 30 something points, second quarter, it starts to chip away, but you expect the slippage. And then the fourth hits, and it's like, are you kidding me? And it's like you get the dub, but you never feel great about it. You're like, are we really that good of a team? And people try to say that, like there's no such thing as an ugly win because a win is a win. But I don't know if I fully believe that, because I walk away from a lot. I mean, and we as fans, people do this just because we love the game of basketball so much. We live and die by every freaking game. So I believe genuinely in my heart of hearts that there are ugly wins. So the fact that you guys had it up 30 something and it went into overtime, that can't feel the greatest. But
no,
like they say, I guess a win is a win, right?
A win is a win. And I will, to be a bit of like an optimist, I'll say like the Warriors team, like last season, like they would have lost this game. So to see them have a huge lead, squander that lead, and then still find a way to win that game, I'm like, all right, like, thank you. Thanks for.
You're doing it without Steph, right?
No Steph, no D'Anthony Melton.
Yeah.
Steph is questionable for tomorrow's game as well against the Wizards.
Okay, so then I would say that even though it was a sloppy game and you were up 30, like the fact that you didn't have Steph and you still had that kind of success, you got to feel a little bit good about that. I mean, like you don't have the person who's spacing out the floor for the rest of the defense. You know what I mean? Like you got to feel good about that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to be able to know that the Warriors can win a game without Steph, because he's been carrying the offensive burden for so many years.
Yeah.
But I think this game, specifically what happened in the second half, the fact that we don't have enough ball handling guards on this roster right now was made very evident. And I don't want to say the Rockets were a bad team, that we should have just wiped them out immediately, but like they are a good team. They have talented players, and that's why they came back.
Oh yeah.
But when Pods isn't on the floor for them, trying to run the point, I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot at which guard is going to be able to take it up. Or it's like, hey, Kyle Anderson, back out there.
It's ball handling by committee, and
Pods
did foul out like beginning of overtime.
Yeah,
and then Draymond also fouled out, I believe, with like seconds left in the fourth.
Yeah, and I mean, they threw Wiggins out there on a bum ankle that he hurt in the game, and I mean that was frustrating to watch. I kind of wish that they put Moody out there with Kyle Anderson and have Kyle run with the ball, but they had Wiggins out there. What's that?
They didn't have Moody playing like that?
Not in the overtime. They didn't put him out there. They put injured Andrew Wiggins and Kyle Anderson with Looney, who played incredibly well in overtime. But I will say Wiggins had some great defensive stops in overtime, and Jonathan Kuminga
he had a great game. Jonathan Kuminga.
He's very up and down, seems very up and down. I feel like a lot of times when I watch Kuminga play, when I do turn into the Warriors games, it's like he's playing at an unbelievable level, or he looks like he doesn't know how to play basketball at all.
I mean, yeah, he's still really young. He has a lot of development to still go through, because he's like 21, 22 maybe.
Yeah, 22 at the oldest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if he's just a kid then. Oh yeah, man, you guys are good with him for a while.
Yeah, but it's just getting that contract extension kind of figured out is the major issue through the season. But I mean, quickly back to the free throws that this game gave the Warriors. 50 free throw attempts. I can't remember the last time that the Warriors had 50.
That's
5-0 free throw attempts.
I mean, even with overtime, that's crazy. I didn't know. That's wow.
Oh, it was ridiculous. They missed 18 of those 50 free throw attempts. And like,
so what, that's 30. They missed 18.
Yes. They made 32 of 50.
Yeah, 32 points strictly off free throws. It's fucking nuts.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable.
Like a whole quarter's worth of points.
Yeah, actually.
And I mean, I will say that was a lot of Kuminga and Wiggins getting to the free throw line, driving and pressuring that kind of younger defense that the Rockets have. But
I'm so confused with Steve Kerr and these damn rotations. I can't keep up.
I think I gave up on trying to keep up. I just kind of watched the game and see what he does. You know what I mean?
Well, it must be entertaining for you guys, because it feels like you probably get like a new starting five every 2 to 3 games, and you're getting to witness people that you didn't think were going to play actually get significant role player minutes.
Right.
So it sounds like you've got like a very successful Darvin Ham on your team.
Yeah. I feel like Kerr is just doing this to incite chaos with the other like coaching staff on the other team to be like, who are we gonna play? I don't know. You
Yeah.
figure it out.
Right. Like we could reference like the Lindy Waters game, like the Pelicans game 1. Like nobody saw Lindy Waters playing like
Yeah.
major minutes and just getting
Oh,
major buckets. And now he's like in the rotation, especially with
Mhm.
Steph being absent and D'Anthony Melton being absent. Like they need
Yeah.
people to step up, but like he stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be next man up, but it seems like you guys, as the team of King of the Guards, just you got one man down and you got like another B+ rated player to come in and just drop 19 on your effing head. So
Yeah.
that's absolutely crazy. But I'm still confused because Steve Kerr, man, one moment he's praising Jonathan Kuminga. Now you can't even get a contract extension for him. And then it seems like we're supposed to be doing more Moody minutes. And instead it's Lindy Waters dropping. Oh, it's all over the place. I couldn't keep up if I was you guys.
Yeah,
That's why I thought to just do the Lakers stuff.
Yeah.
Moses Moody played 17 minutes last night, but he had a good game. Like he shot he was 3 for 5 from the field.
Okay.
And was a +8, couple assists in there, but he didn't play major minutes. It was a lot of Draymond, Wiggins, Pajemski, Kuminga, and Buddy Hield. Which Draymond, I gotta give Draymond his flowers. This season he's been totally like locked in. Like, and this is this version of Draymond is the version that this team needs so badly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, then, I mean, then you guys seem like you're on the right track, and for as much as we sit here and joke about Kerr throwing out these crazy lineups and us not exactly knowing what the Warriors are going to be doing rotational wise, and every night's a different experience, you guys are sitting atop the Western Conference. So you can't be mad at it. You just got to roll the dice until the dice just say no.
Yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely.
I think this first like real road trip is going to be a big measuring stick for them to see where they kind of stack up, because like they're going to play some tough teams. They're going to play the Cavaliers, they're going to play the Celtics, and they come
Cavs
home.
are good, man.
Cavs are good.
Yep.
And the Celtics are the defending champs, and they play a brand of basketball that it's hard to stop.
Yeah.
And they got the roster to do it. And I think they come home and they have another couple hard games. I know they play the Mavericks. Klay Thompson's coming back for the first time.
Yeah. That ticket price is probably going to be crazy.
Oh, I've already looked. Yeah, it's already. I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also a matchup against the Thunder that I'm really interested to see. Because last year, man, all those matchups against the Thunder were incredible games. Frustrating, but yeah, that's going to be a really good matchup. So Sunday, November 10th.
Do you guys know if you have the Thunder 3 times this year or 4 by any chance?
I'm assuming 4. I feel like it'd probably be like 2 here, 2 there.
Yeah, and then also I don't know what the play-in tournament groups are, because there's that whole thing that we have to experience. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I'm a fan of the play-in tournament, but I'm specifically
you're the defending champs.
Yeah,
watch out,
enjoy it.
and everybody hates us because we put up a banner, but like, dude,
that's pretty funny.
You have to understand, anybody that won the damn championship or in-season tournament, whatever you want to call it, they're gonna hang a banner.
Of course,
it just so happened to be the Lakers, and so everyone's like, "Oh, is that your 17th and a half banner?" Like,
I think it's funny because it's the first one, and then in like 10 years, when like teams have like, there's been more champions, and maybe there's like been a dynasty, like maybe the Lakers become the first in-season tournament dynasty.
That's gonna be, bro. That's so crazy. Do you think it could ever turn into that? It's like, it's hard to fathom.
I think it easily could.
It's like, yo, like we want to win the Larry O'Brien, but like that in-season tournament trophy.
We're not thinking about June. We're thinking of November.
Yeah, we're thinking about that trip to Vegas, baby. We're rolling the dice, bro. All the advertisements and commercials that they have for it too, of like them being in Vegas, and it's like trying to steal the.
It's so overkill.
Oh yeah, it's so ridiculous.
It's entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's just the new thing, and I got to get used to it.
Yeah, same. Does this officially put us in Unk mode? Like, are we
I
Unk?
think we've been in Unk mode.
Yeah.
It's tough. This is tough.
I mean, we all watched LeBron's like entire career. We're Unk.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
supposedly
true.
supposedly next year's the last year. 23 years for number 23.
They've been saying that. They've been saying that since like LeBron was in Cleveland the second time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we'll see. I remember when everyone was like, "Yeah, LeBron's, in his 30s, like he's finally like past peak," and then here we are, 9 years later.
I don't think so.
That's insane.
And like just watching him in the Olympics over the summer, it's like this guy looks so good.
Ridiculous. Well, speaking of Lakers stuff, man. Yay.
Woo! Let's go.
So I haven't been on here probably in a week or so. It's been a crazy week. The Dodgers won, and I got a little blurry, and that was the reason I haven't been on here in a while. So I actually tried to hop in that night when if you guys saw, like I popped up for like a quick second where it's like Lakers big. So that was the game we played Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that game or no?
I think we could just talk about all of it, to be honest, because I haven't had a chance to kind of wrap up any of the Lakers stuff. So first thing I guess we talk about would be the Phoenix game about a week ago. First game of the road trip at Phoenix. That was the first time in a long time that I walked away from a Lakers game feeling not bad about a loss, because we lost by, I believe it was 4 points, and it was LeBron's worst outing as a Laker in his 6-year stint. I think he only had 11 points, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
You have an average LeBron game. You have an average. I mean, Anthony Davis played out of his mind. I think Austin Reeves didn't play too hot that game either. You have average games from those guys. We probably win by 10 points, 8 to 10 points. And I feel confident about that. But then going to play Cleveland, that was kind of an eye-opener for me, man, because I'm sitting there about 4:30. I think I'm like 2 beers deep. Lakers down 20. And I'm like, a 20-point deficit now in the NBA isn't too bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's nothing.
Yeah, it's like it's nothing.
31 point. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just what's funny? Coming back to just the thought of that, I feel like that started with like the Clippers in like 2019. I'm trying to remember, there was a game where the Clippers came back from like a 26-point deficit and was like the craziest thing. I remember ESPN was just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And ever since then, I feel like I've always thought that like 25 wasn't that bad to come back from. I don't know. Sidebar.
Yeah, anyway. I mean, today's NBA, it's like the offense is just so fast.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah,
no, I'm sitting there watching the Laker game, and it was the first time this season, small sample size, that it was blatantly apparent that we just were undersized as far as our backcourt, because you can't really consider LeBron a part of your backcourt, because LeBron is running the offense and he's on the wing. The only time he's really going to go downhill is when he starts at the top of the key and he gets his head of steam, or he's in the dunker spot, and he's just sitting there backing somebody down, turn around jumper or right to the hoop, right? So even with Jaxon Hayes in there, and yes, we will get to Jaxon Hayes here shortly. Even with Jaxon Hayes in there, Evan Mobley and Jared Allen are a great backcourt, man. Or I'm sorry, a great front court. And it's tough. They're lanky. It's like the new big man. Obviously you've got your Jokic's, but it's like I feel like now you have to pick your poison. You're either going with the Wemby type or you want the bruiser.
Right.
It's either or. And it's like Anthony Davis is in this. I still think he's playing at an MVP level, but he's in this mid-tier right now where he's not the heaviest dude, but he also has a lot of finesse. So he works in both worlds. But when you have to have a second guy like that, that's when you realize that Anthony Davis really is a unicorn, because there's nobody else that's doing it. And so it's like, do we want somebody like a Jaxon Hayes build, or do we want to go with somebody like a Yusuf Nurkic build? We're still trying to figure that out. But it was just blatantly obvious, even with Jaxon Hayes in there, and we don't have, shout out C Wood right now, and Koloko is now off of the clearance panel to play, so he can get get time now. But it's just, we don't have anybody that could really match up like that. So that was a little tough. So we lost 2 in a row, and they had the sentiment that they didn't want to lose 2 in a row. It's really hard to do in today's NBA, but that was kind of our 2020 thing when we won the bubble chip, if you will. That we never wanted to lose 2 in a row. It's really hard to do, but we came back, we bounced back against Toronto. But kind of like you guys, we were out to a 26-point lead. We went into the half up 25, and we finished the game up by 6, and they cut it to 4. So that wasn't really, really great to watch, and it wasn't an we were talking earlier about the encouraging loss. There was nothing encouraging about that. So hoping that we go into Detroit tomorrow, pick up that win, take care of business, and after that we've got Memphis on Wednesday, and that'll be a good test too because Ja Morant, Zach Edey, PG Jackson, even though I believe he's injured, and then Jared Jackson Jr.
Yeah, Marcus Smart's there too, so it'll be a good game. I like the Lakers in that matchup. I feel like the Lakers have kind of. Is it safe to say that the Lakers have had the Grizzlies' number in recent history?
Well,
ever since the Dylan Brooks thing.
Ever since Poke the Bear. It's so funny. That's what I fell asleep to that last night. They have a mini movie on YouTube about that. And I fell asleep. It was oh man, what a time to be alive. Obviously the second round was a little tougher for you guys to watch, but that first round, fucking magic, man. Oh, it was so good. Especially, it was just so fitting that the Lakers won by 40, and Dylan Brooks said, "I don't respect anybody till they put 40 on my head."
Yeah.
And literally not even 2 weeks later, the Grizzlies said, broke by Shams, that the Grizzlies were not bringing Dylan Brooks back. And I quote, under any circumstance. Insane.
Yeah.
The any circumstance part is insane.
Yeah.
What happened?
That's a cherry on top, man.
I'm trying to think of like on the topic of Dylan Brooks, my favorite Dylan Brooks moment. And I want to say it was when I think they were playing the Nuggets, and the Nuggets were warming up, and Dylan Brooks just standing on their side of the court.
Oh yeah.
Just looking at him dead.
Oh, yes. I don't know what happened in I don't know who won, who lost, but I just remember that happening. I'm like, that is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel like Dylan Brooks, he is one of those players that when he's on your team, you probably love him. But when you watch him, your team's playing against him, you're just like, who is this guy?
Bro's a psycho. Oh, by the way, for anybody that is catching the podcast version of this, if you're not watching this live or you're not watching on the YouTube channel as we're currently doing this, we've had a couple people pop in. Shout out Mike Moe and shout out Ani Angeli. Appreciate you coming in and checking us out. Slowly but surely, we're trying to build this thing up, and this is our second time going live and first time actually going live on YouTube. So next time you're in here, we've got a comment section. Just if you ever want to ask anything or you want to chop into the conversation, just shoot us a little comment, and we'll get right back to you because this is cool. So just wanted to say thank you to you guys for checking us out real quick. But yeah, so kind of going down the Lakers rabbit hole, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it because it's happening. It's news, and that's what we do as members of the media now, guys. We discuss current events. Speaking of which, I never got any confirmation back from the NBA.com of whether or not we could be media. But NBA, if you're checking us out, we're doing this consistently, so you can't say we're not media.
They haven't said no.
Yes, they haven't said no. I love that. They have not said no. But Jaxon Hayes and the off-court issues. So back when Jaxon Hayes was a Pelican, I believe this is 2021, TMZ put out a report about Jaxon Hayes and his girlfriend, a bit of spousal abuse, Jax being argumentative. And then it broke that the police showed up and he was actually tased to be kept in line. And kind of that was that. The NBA looked into it. Jaxon served his time. I believe he had 480 hours of community service. He had to do spousal abuse weekly classes. There was a lot that he had to do. I think he had a large fine to pay. Long story short, everything was handled. It was cleared by the Pelicans. It was cleared by the NBA. And TMZ, about 24 to 48 hours ago, released the actual footage from this. I have no idea how they got it, but it's tough to watch, man. Roman, I know that you haven't. I know you haven't seen it. Casey, I know that you have seen it. But as a Lakers fan, I know we joke around a lot on this show, but any sort of spousal abuse, anything of that nature, I'm not okay with. I'm not good with any of that stuff. And it's tough because I really like what Jaxon Hayes is bringing to our team. I like the energy. I love everything that he's trying to do as we wait for our other players to get back. Not saying he's not going to be a part of the rotation. When you see that kind of stuff, it really makes you think twice about a guy that you're trying to support and you're trying to root for. And I just don't know how the Lakers are going to handle it. I know that they said that they're looking into it, and I know that the NBA is having another investigation into the matter. But I'm interested in your guys' thoughts. I don't know if this has ever happened on the Warriors. I mean, I know you've had issues as far as, Draymond being crazy and hitting other guys, but like when it comes to actually laying hands on a woman,
right? Like domestic violence.
Yeah, domestic violence. So yeah, I'm just interested in your guys' takes from guys on the other side.
Yeah, I'm not cool with it at all. Like, I would not be able to support if anyone on my team did something like that. Like, I would not be able to support them or look at them the same way, especially like after seeing the video. Of course, the NBA, they're gonna do their investigation again. It's all reopened, but yeah, I don't. It's just really, really disheartening and upsetting to see.
Yeah, I mean it's always a bad look, right? And like the NBA has had players kind of go through similar things, and yeah, I mean it's awful when this stuff gets found out about, and it's something that just shouldn't be tolerated. I don't think these players should really be given an opportunity again. But I mean he's already gone through a legal procession. He's already gone through that process. I'm honestly curious what this new video footage really means for any investigation from the NBA. Because if they've already known about it in the past, then what would this release of the video footage of the same incident, what would
What's it gonna do?
What would that change, and why would they change their tune about it now?
I think it's because I think there's a lawsuit that's happening now, even though it's like 3 years after the fact. I don't know why it would be going on. I haven't looked into the matter that much, but at this point, if the matter's been resolved and the video footage does come out, it's either somebody's trying to like re-stir the pot. Maybe, that coincides with the lawsuit coming out now, and it's just trying to, put things back into the spotlight. But, I didn't know about it, to be honest with you, until this resurfaced and I read that it was a 2021 issue. I remember that in the group chat, Brock was talking about it. And because, he knows all the most random facts about NBA anything. So yeah, when we were talking about Jaxon Hayes, he brought that up. I was like, wait, what? And then here we are. So yeah, it's gonna be tough, and it makes me think about Miles Bridges, and he took time away from Charlotte, and when he became a free agent, a lot of teams were looking at signing him, but a lot of people had their reservations based off of his history. He ended up re-signing with Charlotte because I know that the Lakers were definitely interested in trying to grab him. I mean, he's a hell of a player, but when it comes down to stuff like that, it's tough. So I'm interested in seeing what the Lakers do, and I'm interested in seeing how this like plays out long term for him, because I support what he does for our basketball team, but I can't get behind that. And I hate to feel away now because it's coming up so much later, but it's tricky. It's tricky. Would you guys it makes me think, would if you were a NBA GM, knowing what you know about Miles Bridges, would you sign Miles Bridges?
Nope. Just because I mean, one, I don't agree with what he did, but also you don't want to bring that energy or that cloud around your organization. Like it follows you.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a distraction. It's bad. It's just all bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a good look. And I wouldn't assume teams teams go out of their way to try to sign him immediately. He might linger on in free agency for a little bit after the season, because this is the last year of his
So he had a player option
contract.
this year. Yeah, this was his player option pickup.
Yeah, so yeah, I'd assume that he remains a free agent going into this next offseason, and maybe over time when teams might assume that things have kind of cleared out with that, and there might not be any other like legal ramifications, and they might go out of their way to sign him. But it'll probably be a process of waiting it out, kind of like what you guys were saying with Bridges.
Yeah, it makes me think of I don't know if you guys have been watching the American Sports Story, Aaron Hernandez, but
no, I've seen the clips, but I haven't watched the show.
Yeah, there's a part in the show when they're going into when he was being looked at by the Patriots and his draft order and where they thought he was going to be, and everyone thought he was going to be a top, he was going to be a first round pick, and he ended up slipping so far. And it was strictly based off of everything that has happened in his past, drug abuse and, being argumentative, mental state and all of that stuff. So it's crazy. Like when you think about Jaxon Hayes, you think about Miles Bridges. I mean, obviously we're talking about different facets of people's lives, but it doesn't matter how amazing of a talent you are. At the end of the day, teams are still like, if you're not going to adhere to the culture that we try to develop within our organization, it's just not going to work out. So I guess what the long-winded thing I'm trying to say is it's good that whether you're the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, whatever, organization you are, that you have morals, and it's good that they have those processes. So it's the first time it's kind of hit close to home. So figured we'd touch on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this week in Warriors basketball, you said you've got a couple tough ones. So how do you see this week playing out for you? What do you think the record is? We got 3 games this week?
I think so. So tomorrow it's the Wizards, Wednesday Celtics, and then Friday the Cavs.
And then anything Sunday, or you're off to travel on
Thunder Sunday?
Yeah, Thunder.
Okay, so
Thunder
4
Sunday.
game. So what are your realistic expectations? What's your realistic thoughts on what your record's going to be?
Honestly,
yes.
I think like Wizards, I'm gonna say that should be a win.
Yeah, you got to win the games in front of you.
If they lose the next 3 against Celtics, Cavs, and Thunder, I'm not gonna panic.
Okay.
I'd like to see them beat one of those teams. And of course, I want to see them beat all of those teams, but these are 3 really good teams. I'd like to see at least one win between those 3.
Yeah, I'm quite optimistic about this road trip. I think these are all good teams, but I think the Warriors just getting Steph back after maybe this Wizards game, just getting him back by the Celtics game and for the stretch against the Cavs and then the Thunder. I think that they could win 3 out of these 4, and I think the Celtics are a winnable game.
I think so too. I think I like their odds against the Celtics more than I like them against the Cavaliers.
That was exactly the game I was thinking of that they would lose. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Cavs super tough right now. They beat down the Lakers. I was devastated by that. So we're going 2-2. You're
3-1. Let's call it 3-1.
Yeah, I'm optimistic. I think it's a 3-1 stretch for this road trip.
Would you be willing to say optimistic 3-1, realistic 2-2, pessimistic 1-3?
My optimism is based in reality. So
okay. I like that.
Stamp it.
Yeah.
3-1. Okay.
3-1.
I'm gonna say that you guys go 2-2. But I think that you guys have a really good team, and I think that your best basketball is yet to come. So I'm going to say that you go 2-2. Looking at the Lakers schedule, tomorrow we've got Detroit. Wednesday we've got Memphis. Those are both on the road. Then Friday we have Philadelphia, and Sunday we have Toronto again. I'm going to say we win against Detroit as a bounce back game of how we played against Toronto. And you got to win those games in front of you. Realistically, they are not a good team. they're rebuilding, so we should get that. Wednesday at Memphis, I think that is going to be a tough one, but I think we get that win as well, and I think we go 3-2 on our road trip. I know that is a goal for the Lakers. Coming back home against Philadelphia, no Joel Embiid, I don't believe. Also, no Paul George, from what I understand. I'm going to say if Paul George and Joel Embiid are available for that game, it's tough. And then I think we get let's hold that one off. And then Sunday we played Toronto again. I think we're winning that. So I'm going to say,
I think you guys could win. Like looking at your guys' schedule, I see a lot of wins. The next 4 games.
I think we can go. I'm gonna go with Roman here, where my optimism is based in reality. I think we go 3-1 over our next 4.
Oh yeah.
And I think the game we lose is probably Philadelphia.
Okay.
But I think that we have the potential to go 4-0.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I feel like if the Lakers are to lose in this upcoming stretch of games, it would kind of be like they beat themselves kind of loss. Like
that's how I feel about it too.
Yeah, I honestly don't feel like the Sixers are too much of a threat, even with Paul George and Embiid healthy.
I agree.
I just don't like their roster against yours. I don't think they match up super well, just across the board. I don't think they're as deep. But yeah, Pistons easy win. Grizzlies, I think. I don't think they match up. I don't think they match up well against Lakers at all. I think it's the Raptors. I think
you think they're coming for revenge in LA?
Yeah.
Sneaky game.
A Grady Dick masterpiece.
It just might be. Circle the calendar.
He's a good player, man. He's a good player. Him, they're actually, if they could get a center other than Jakob Poeltl, Toronto doesn't have a bad roster. I mean, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Grady Dick.
I like Emmanuel Quickly.
I do too.
Oh yeah, he's
Quickly,
cool.
RJ Barrett, Grady Dick,
Scotty Barnes.
Yep, Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl, and just a couple like scrappy dudes off the bench. But they've got talent.
Chris Boucher.
Yeah, Warriors legend. And Kings legend Davion Mitchell.
Oh,
they also have Kelly Olynyk on.
Yeah, Kenny, solid guy, solid Canadian.
Yeah, solid Canadian.
Solid Canadian, that Kelly Olynyk. I just think about Kelly Olynyk and I think about Kevin Love.
Yeah, him tearing
Love's
arm off.
Yeah, it's so fucking crazy that we still remember that. That's what
yeah.
Kelly Olynyk will always be remembered for breaking Kevin Love's arm.
It's a shame because he was a good player before that happened.
Yeah,
100%.
And now all I think about is like this guy tore Kevin Love's arm
out. Yeah, it's crazy.
That was brutal.
Literally just ruined the season for the Cavs that year.
Oh yeah,
insane.
Yeah.
Bron still took him to the finals though.
Of course.
All right, boys. I think that's a good place to leave it. So yeah, we're gonna say 3-1 for both of our teams over the next 4.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Oh yeah, confident.
All right. Well, we will come back to this Sunday. Make a little segment like Sundays. When we do the wrap up of the week, we'll see how we did. The 3-1. We'll come back to this and see how we did. But anybody that tuned in live tonight, thank you guys so much for being a part of the most recent episode of the Bay LA podcast, your home for everything Lakers, Warriors, and news from around the association. I'm Austin here with Roman and Casey. And until next time, guys, we'll see you and have a good rest of your week. Go Lakers, go Warriors.
Go Dubs.
Let's go.